What's up everyone, it's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Today we are heading back to Nima's to get the game plan to fix the Trackhawk build. Alright, before I got interrupted by, the parking sensors, basically we're going to be heading to Nima's. We're going to be discussing the game plan to get this 7-liter stroker Trackhawk build right. So I really hope you subscribe to follow this build because I am gonna do it right. This build was half-assed like crazy, and I just want to do it right. This whole point of me getting into the build at this level is to finish it off, complete it, and have it hoonable at over 1,000 horsepower. So Nima and I have already put together the plan, and we're gonna go discuss that with him. We also might be linking up with the Audi R8 and get into some shenanigans with him. So I'm gonna give him a call after we do the deal with the shop at Nima. But first, the car wash.
The wood's gonna be a few weeks out. It's got the fucking Jeep Willys inside the headlight. Did you see that? Look.
I did not see that.
That's fucking awesome. So there's probably a bunch of them all over the car. Now you gotta look at every corner and thing and be try to find them all. I'm sure there's a ton of them.
Alright, so everyone's been introduced to Master Sensei Nima, right? He's already seen the refrigerator, the 1,000 horsepower. I put quotes in every single title, but basically, I'm coming back to him with another broken, half-assed build, and you put together the game plan. So basically, when you got this car, what did you notice right off the bat? And then theoretically, with Nima's the sloth, right?
Yeah,
his little logo is the sloth. So when the sloth finally gets to this, where do you see the final form of this build goes? Because since I am dumping money into it, I'll probably keep it as a daily for a while, honestly.
So according to the spec sheet on the engine build, we should be good for 1,200 horse all day. So we're just gonna send it up there. But first thing first was the cooling mod. So we're gonna do the inner chiller. We have the meth top plate from Nitrous Express coming. We're using both methanol and nitrous. Nitrous for fun, obviously, and methanol for cooling. We'll start with a 150 shot, see how it likes it, go from there. Next step after this is going to be some drivetrain modifications. So I want to do the drive shaft shop, front and rear drive shafts. I want to do the performance, I cannot remember the name of the company right now. They make a transfer case for this that has built-up clutches and built-up gears in it. HHP, something like that. I can't remember. It was a weird company I never heard of before. It's a Trackhawk kind of company, so they make stuff for both the first and second-gen Trackhawks. They're really well-known. A little pricey, but whenever you're trying to go for 4-digit power, you gotta spend money to make that kind of power. So, yeah, it's the game plan. This go around, we're gonna do a suspension setup on it. Make sure the alignment's off, as we noticed from the last time I drove it. Retune the car. We should hit about 900 horse, I'm hoping, on this go around once we cool it down, and then we'll slap the smaller pulley on and see what happens there. Maybe 950 if we're lucky.
So let's pop the hood and go into the meth plate, because
oh yes,
for those who are watching, this meth plate is not cheap. Oh my god. So Nima gave me 2 options of color. Obviously, since I want this to be final form, I'm not going to cut corners, but you know, the cooling mods seem to be the issue with these cars.
Yeah, 100% the cooling mods are. As far as the meth nitrous plate, what's really nice about it is it's going to atomize really well. So this entire top section is supercharger. All this, the bypass valve that it bolts to, will get changed out for this nice, beautiful nitrous express plate. It has 4 nozzles per side, and then 2 solenoids per side. One for nitrous, one for methanol.
And they do these for Hellcats too.
Yeah, it's just for this supercharger lid. So anything with a supercharger on, you can do it too. The other option is much cheaper, is putting a plate in between a throttle body and here. Issues you have with that, you run too much, you're gonna pull down here. It's just not a good option. It's a cheap option, it's a quick option, get you some power, but if you really want to go all out, top plate's the best way to go. They also do them for like the LT4s. So Chevy Camaro guys, they got you.
I mean, you're a Euro guy, so you're all into the meth. Like,
yeah, we love methanol. We love cooling.
Most of the domestic tuners, they don't mess with meth.
They don't like it too much. I'm just used to it for cooling my superchargers because we don't have this much engine space. So we don't get radiators that are 3-inch cores. Right. We get smaller ones, and they're packed. And then you have a divorce system, which is nice, where we get, you know, everything all in one. So yeah, this is it's a different animal. Luckily, I've worked on quite a few before, especially you manual transmission Hellcat owners. What the hell is wrong with you guys?
What do you mean?
Oh man, those manual transmissions can't handle stage 2 tune. I've rebuilt that tranny 14 times on different cars. Input shaft shattering in half, gears just shearing to baldness, pins falling out. It's hilarious. Yeah, so the 8 HP is the way to go, always.
Hear that? No, if you want to stick shift, you definitely get the scat pack.
You get a scat pack, correct, yes. I didn't put nitrous on that.
So going into the rest of the cooling, the heat exchanger and the chiller killer, right?
Yeah.
Instead of spending money, like they spent $7,000 on the laser blockers, I don't understand why that couldn't have been.
Yeah, so one is basically a plenum spacer, and it increases the plenum volume, but it also basically dissipates the heat in between before the hot air enters the engine. Mm-hmm. The second one is literally a block that goes on the back of the supercharger, and it's a separate cooling system basically for a supercharger. Really cool design.
So moving down the line, right, you want 1200, that's a goal, and that's a crank number, correct?
Yeah, it's a crank number.
Crank number, like, when is this tranny, like, that's like, when's the limit on this tranny if you build the T-case and the drive shaft?
Yeah, so the tranny's gonna be a limiting factor at that point. I have to look to see what this, so there's obviously tons of variants of the 8 HP. This one, I believe, is the 95, but I can't remember for sure. So that's basically 950 Newton meters of torque. So the torque is what's going to kill a tranny. So we got to figure out where the torque number ends up at this, and then figure out the correct stall converter we put in. There's also some solenoid upgrades and various other upgrades inside that tranny. I think there's like a third gear band that goes bad that I've heard the drum will actually crack on. So stuff like that, I will just have to look more into. I'm more focused right now, obviously, on getting this thing cool. Yeah. Then once I get it cool and get it tuned right, then we can start moving down the line. Because, you know, you got a 7-liter stroker that's built, so you're good to go.
I mean, what's your thoughts on how this build was done? Because, I mean, I'm probably the only crazy one to go into this build and fix it.
Yeah, 100%.
So
most people would buy it and just go enjoy it as is, and I change the oil on and they'd be happy. But you're actually trying to enjoy it for what it's built for.
Like, if they're gonna go out of their way to do a 7-liter, like, we're not even getting the power out. Like, this is a 6.2 liter, like stage 2.
Yeah, it's nothing special. It definitely needs some love. There's a lot of weird things that could have been done. Overall, it seems like it's well put together, but only mileage will tell. Mm-hmm. You know, anybody can build an engine that lasts 5,000 miles. And I know from working at a lot of high performance shops that built this kind of stuff in the past, 95% of customers don't drive their cars. Mm-hmm. They don't even make it past 5,000 miles before they sell it. Mm-hmm. They're into something else, and that's why stuff like this, you see this stuff pop up all the time. Mm-hmm. That's exactly why. And then second owner gets it, and usually either A, crashes it, or B, blows it up because they bought it for a steal for a third of the price. So It looks like it's a good build. They didn't do anything ignorant, I can tell you that, which is a nice change from your previous two cars. So there's nothing that when they built the 7-liter, they built the 7-liter for power and they were ready to go. So that was nice of them.
And then this needs pinned, right?
That needs pinned, and then that guy down there needs pinned. Just for safety's sake. But guys will tell you, oh, you don't need to do that. Dude, it's literally $115 and it's peace of mind.
Right.
That's how I see it. I don't care if there's fucking 6 bolts holding it all. It doesn't matter to me. I've seen cranks shear off like no one's business. I mean, I come from the Le Mans world where we build high power engines that get pushed to their limits, and I've seen all kinds of failures. So anything I can do to prevent it, especially whenever it's so cost effective.
Right.
There's no reason not to. So.
Especially on the 7-liter stroker build.
Facts. These are all facts this week.
Just blows my mind. Any other closing thoughts? I mean, you pretty much covered all the bases in my mind.
The only thing I don't know is what kind of fueling this thing has to get us to the power we need to get to. So
yeah.
I'm not sure. They did not state what kind of injection they're using or anything. So whenever I actually do the plate, I have to take all that shit off anyways because I'm pouring a supercharger. I will find out what size injectors, if they're stock or not, and what kind of rail system we're running and what kind of pressure regulation and blah.
What do you think, like, you're obviously the Euro mechanic, like, what do you think about Mopar as a whole? Because this is kind of like the Halo car of Mopar besides the Hellcat, and
sweet.
I get, like, people know what this thing is.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, they'll roll down their windows and they're like, is that a Trackhawk?
Right.
Like, what do you think about where Mopar started, which was like all shit boxes, to like, it's still like a shit box, but like the engine and tranny in the top tier models seem to be bulletproof.
2 things that they did correctly. One was obviously go with ZF for their tranny. That was their best move they could have made because all the old Mopar trannies all had issues.
Right.
Now we have a ZF tranny.
Charger, the tranny was...
Oh, it was probably hot garbage, man. I didn't know when to shift or do. That, and then stuffing their 6.2 into everything was awesome. I love this. This is, I mean, coming from the Euro stuff, like we have SQ5s and stuff, and they're quick, 5, 6, 700 horsepower SUVs. But this is a lot of fun. This is a fucking 6.2 inside of your SUV. Why wouldn't you want that? So, yeah, I think they've come a long way. I'm really happy with it. I personally would like a Grand Wagoneer, so if anyone at Mopar is listening.
What do you think of the Dodge Goal? Did you look at the Goal?
No, I did not look at it.
So they're making 200 Chargers with a Elephant motor in it for $200,000.
That's ridiculous. I'll go buy a 911 Turbo and be much happier.
Right.
Like, not to be biased, but if you're talking near $250,000 for a car, 200 grand, 250 grand, like you have a very large array of vehicles you could buy, and like, cool, 1 of 200 Charger. I mean,
you're literally paying for the motor.
That's what you're paying for. Hell of a motor's very cool though. That's a very cool concept, and the fact that you could buy one in a crate for like.
But like the argument is with, apparently the Goal is confirmed.
Okay.
I don't know if like you have inside connections with SRT.
Yeah,
so I would honestly like to see if you could pull that information out of him.
I mean, dude, he'll tell me.
Basically, the argument with like the Elephant in the Charger is that they could never get the Elephant to pass smog. So like, why is the EPA gonna let them make 200 Chargers if they can't get the Elephant to pass smog? So
these are facts.
That might be a topic video that Nima can get the finite answer to, because
maybe.
There's a bunch of YouTubers right now being like, oh, I'm getting the Goal, and it's like not even official out of SRT.
Interesting. I'm gonna find out for you. I will learn very quickly. Okay, I'm actually gonna call as soon as we're done talking. I will know now. That's funny. Yeah, so that's where we're at with this thing. Then hopefully it doesn't piss me off and make me want to push into the creek.
Oh, it definitely doesn't handle like my X5M, I'll say that.
No, well, I mean, it's still a Jeep. It's a drag car. It's a drag truck.
It's like point it straight, have fun.
Yes.
When the corner comes, you're like, I can kind of tell what's going on here, not really.
Yeah, no, a lot of that is alignment. It's got all the right parts. It just needs beats up.
I really hope that they just slapped the suspension on and didn't dial it. Because if it is dialed, then yikes.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Well, guys, another anticlimactic vlog, but like I said, I'm being real here, and you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I canceled on my friend Nate. We were gonna run his stock already. I can't say. I'm saying Artie. Audi. That's how you say Audi, not Artie's. I'm not going to fucking Arby's. But basically, I was gonna race him. We were gonna do a dig pull. Not gonna happen because, yeah, I'm due for a new supercharger belt. So sucks to suck, but better safe than sorry. And I'd rather, you know, have that told to me and not to romp on it than, you know, go down the highway wide open throttle and have it tear off and then have me have to tow it to Nima's. Because I've already towed cars to Nima. I've towed 2 cars to Nima. This would have been the 3rd if I didn't show up at Nima's shop before fucking around. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm just trying to be consistent. You know, I'm trying to get my relationship with Nima on camera to come off better, and each video just makes that easier. And moving forward, like the other 2 cars I have, the builds are 90% there. So hopefully this fall, early this spring, we will be revealing the other 2 builds, and then this build will be going in to get sorted out for the winter, because this is my daily. So this will be sorted for the winter, and I will do winter shenanigans during the winter, because anyone who's from Pittsburgh knows that, you know, you have a certain amount of time to really enjoy the car scene here, but this is one of those special cars that you can enjoy all year round, no matter what, you know, the weather conditions are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, that's the game plan with the Trackhawk. We're gonna shoot for, like, he wants 1200 crank. I'm cool with anything over 1000. That's the whole point of the 7-liter stroker kit, is to actually pull the required, you know, the power that you're paying all that money to build the motor in. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next one, and run up the subscribe, run up the like. I see we're already almost at 300 subs, so that's crazy. It's so hard to get the channel to 1,000, so I really do appreciate every single person who's like at the below 1,000 mark, because you guys are like literally the true subscribers, the OGs that will see what this channel blooms into.